Sagittarius, this is your August 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is on the sign, this is your reading. It's Romy here. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. If it resonates for you, please make sure you drop me a like and a comment and ensure you're subscribed to the channel. It does support my work. So we're going to open up this month with the Hanged Man, and I certainly sense a sacred pause for you, but actually I think you're going to find it deeply refreshing. The fire energy of Leo season is igniting something within you. But because it's coming from within, there's an exploration, a journey that you need to take to really kind of unravel and unearth what it is. It needs your attention and a curiosity so that you can experiment and explore. You know, we are opening and closing the month with two powerful super full moon energies, and these are going to kind of hold you, like almost like pin you in place a little bit, along with all the planetary retrogrades that are going on. They're forcing a surrender, a detoxification, a purification, a release. And I think for you, it will be refreshing to take a break from something, Sagittarius. You will come back to it renewed, and you'll also come back to it with an ability to be more transparent and more honest. You'll be able to assess its true value and validity in your life. So please don't be afraid to take that step back. You may, in fact, find it's enforced upon you, but in some ways, it's the very thing that's going to help propel you forward. The Hanged Man always teaches us that we need to find a new perspective on something, and that shift is also coming from a much higher place. And in ninth house energy for you, during Leo season, you are really soul searching and seeking. I think the challenge is that, you know, we have these deeply contrasting energies for you through the month where you're trying to grow and expand at the same time as continuing to try to heal. So that has you looking back, but also trying to power forward. We have an encouragement for you to find forgiveness within yourself or situations, but also to grieve for what has been lost, or, you know, wherever you are kind of navigating the sense of endings that are coming through for you. You're then asked to let go, but at the same time to keep seeking, you know, to give love, but also be open to receive love. So, you know, I think in some instances through the course of August, like, it seems a little unclear and you're not sure what's fully being asked of you by other people and also the universe. The Ace of Swords is wonderful though, and to see that coming through after the Hanged Man tells me that, again, this period of having a break, having this sacred pause, will in fact directly lead towards the truth that you need to arrive at, the clarity that it is, you know, going to support you. Now we have Lionsgate energy coming through in August, arriving on the 8th of the month, this incredibly powerful portal, this cosmic conversation, Sirius, the rising spiritual sun coming in here to support a heightened awareness. And I don't think there will have been a month where you are not more self-aware than you have ever been in regards to yourself, your own journey and your growth. I think though that something is incredibly luminous in terms of what it's trying to reveal to you. And as you rewrite the visions that you have for yourself, and there's a real encouragement to do that through August, especially around that Lionsgate portal, as we can really harness manifestations. You know, you're being asked to go so big that it will feel outside your comfort zone. Not only that, I think it's going to feel a little ludicrous to you, right? You're going to be like, I'm just even crazy to contemplate this, or to even think that this is something that could be my reality. That's where we want you to go. The universe wants this boldness from you through the course of August, even when, and especially when, nothing makes sense, or you're being given fragments of the story or the end picture without understanding how you're going to get there. And I would encourage you not to spend too long on trying to figure out the strategy in the first part of August, because otherwise you could kind of talk yourself out of it before you've even taken the first step towards it. Yeah. Sometimes we have to play the lead role, and sometimes we actually get more credit in the end for playing the supporting role. And there's something about you trying to be helpful. Well, you are being helpful through the course of this month, and feeling Perhaps that it's landed on deaf ears or it hasn't really been fully recognised. That's not the case. It is going to come back around. You're going to receive this reciprocation in really beautiful ways. So where you may sort of stumble into a situation where you feel a bit let down or disappointed by someone's response or the overall general vibe of kind of something that's, responding to what you have expressed or put out there, don't lose heart or lose faith. It is an invitation, I think, to accept fully, because it's important that we do, the reality of what we are seeing and experiencing and honouring those feelings. But quickly allowing yourself to kind of get back up and really, taking a break where necessary to just kind of reflect and revive yourself. So when you do come back, you're not kind of carrying the baggage of that story or that upset with you. It's really important. There's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth, is what they say, isn't it? I think that Five of Swords is also pertaining to a situation where you're frustrated because you feel, you have your version of events, but what's coming at you, being communicated or discussed with you is, not matching up to what you saw from the situation. Something will come out in the wash, so you don't need to force it, is what I want to say. But your intuition is going to prepare you for how this will unfold in the coming weeks, all right? And in some ways that will be very supportive for you. There are other aspects of that I think you're going to have to come to terms with a little bit, okay? So this is a heads up for you in relation to that. I think something is incredibly messy. So messy that we don't even really know where to begin with it. And I think the important message that we also bring forth in August is to not judge too early on in the process. Okay? Not judge yourself, try not to judge others, or decide what you think is going to be the outcome, or set those expectations so wildly, because it's a very fluid, mutable, shape-shifting experience. And again, these two full moons, like bookending August, mean that there's this veil, almost a sense of a void, and you may even feel a little empty or hollow in some area of your life, even if there are things to celebrate and, feel joyful about and take time. Sometimes when we have that break and we step back from the intensity or the drama or what we've been using to distract ourselves, and the dust settles and the silence kind of wraps us up, then it can be a little bit hard to then sort of process things, and that's when some of the true feelings come up to be acknowledged. So, don't try to justify or explain a situation that you feel is too messy or complicated really for anyone else to necessarily understand. This is between you and anyone else who may be directly involved in it, and I think it's okay to just sort of sit with your own counsel over that, because you're midway through the storyline. So again, if you too early try to express to others or announce where you think this is going, you're going to impact how the charge and the momentum is coming together, okay? And this might surprise you in a number of ways in terms of what the eventual outcome is. Your King of Wands, I love coming through for you, this power, momentum, huge amount of creativity sort of swirling around through August, again kind of contained with these full moons. So sometimes when we have those experiences of like we have a great idea and then it kind of goes, or we feel like we're onto something and then we sort of lose it, August is sort of holding it for you, is the best way to describe it. So you get to return to it over and over again. Now, Lionsgate portal is sort of illuminating something exciting about it. New Moon in Leo comes in on the 16th to really help you reset your big soulful goals around it. Yeah, but we just have to accept there are some days we grow and there are some days that we just merely kind of exist, finding our place with the clouds and the rain and the hum of daily life. So let yourself just be and have a deep regard for this sense of duality that you're experiencing through the month of August, because it's going to kind of swirl you around and ask a lot of you without really necessarily advising you all of the reasons why it's asking you to do certain things, but all will become incredibly clear over the next few weeks for you. Now, I feel like you're also being asked to take quite a bold position Notice I say a bold position, not necessarily a bold action. There will be a time for the action, but what you might find is that August things are not quite lining up. You know, the Venus retrograde, we're also going to have Mercury coming retrograde on the 23rd, just means that there's an invitation to go back over and make sure you've gathered up all of the evidence, all of the information, and also you're doing work on the self. Because remember, Venus retrograde is also saying to us, our relationship to absolutely everything external to us, pertaining to the themes of Venus, you know, love, value, money, beauty, and how our self-esteem is affected by that. So how you think you need to look, how you feel you need to be loved, what you feel you need to earn, how you feel other people respect or regard you or not. All of these things are being brought up into the light, and you're going to see where you get triggered or how they're influencing, you know, the way you see yourself or how much effort or energy you're putting into people or situations. So be very open to that and know that this gathering phase helps you to take a strong, bold position on what you want, what you have to offer, what you know to be your truth. But we also need a time to kind of sit with that a little bit and make sure we're fully connected, aligned, anchored, and embodied in it. And then there's going to be this time to go, okay, the journey begins. The journey begins. And the Chariot is here, indicative right in the center of your reading, to say there will be a moment through August where you're like, this is the right time. But don't force that, don't rush that. And, you know, sometimes we have to begin before we feel we're ready or we have all the information. And I have a sense you're not going to have all the information and you're going to have to take, you know, a little bit of a stab in the dark. But you have the instinctive knowing of that King of Wands supporting you, helping you to trust and bet on yourself. And I think there's never been a more important month for you, Sagittarius, to bet on yourself. Now we have a whole host of planets in Leo right now. We'll have the Sun, Mercury, Venus. On the 15th, we've got Juno, the asteroid goddess, shifting into the sign. Juno, of course, rules partnerships, both professionally and personally. And in Leo, you know, our hearts are on the line, so we become very expressive, our visions become very bold, but we also have to address what's real and what's just being done for show. Yeah, so sometimes you have to kind of go between the lines and really get the true measure of somebody that you're, you know, perhaps considering committing or devoting time, energy with in regards to some sort of relationship to achieve or to move forward. We also have Black Moon Lilith still in Leo right through till October 3rd. And, you know, she's really taking front and center stage in this season of Leo to kind of reiterate her message, which is one of deal with the shadow, deal with the triggers, but avenge where you have suppressed or kept yourself small or dismissed your own talents or gifts or felt dismissed by others, but then allowed that to be the very thing that stopped you from going after what you want. Chariot says you will get there. Where there is a will, there is a way, but sometimes we have to carve a completely different road. It does not exist. There is no category you fit into. What you want to achieve, what you're looking for your life, as we said, it may feel ludicrous, but, you know, the very nature of the fact that you've had the thought or the idea or the inspiration is telling you this is possible, and you meant to be the one that makes it happen so that other people can follow suit. Okay, so Lilith really pushing the agenda in this regard, helping you to advance yourself both spiritually and, you know, really kind of address where there are some gaps in your knowledge base that would support you and help you learn more about yourself or about what it is that you want to achieve or where you're going. Ace of Cups, do what you love what you do, love who you are. And it's like the more we realize, you know, it's not just about what we want, but it's also about what we have to offer. And when we have a deep sense of regard and love and appreciation for the self, it is mirrored in how we present what we have to offer, whether that be in a romantic relationship, with something that you've got going on in career or business or your job. You know, this is then shining through. And this Ace of Cups is telling me there's something that's radiating on such a high frequency for you, when you get aligned to knowing its true value, which really has to become rooted from a sense of you knowing your own value, okay? I like the two aces coming through here. They're absolutely an indication of, you know, new beginnings and new energy that's coming in to support you, free yourself from any entangling, complicated, difficult situations and find a fresh start, whether that be with the same components and influences and energies and connections that you're already dealing with, but having to come at it from a new place, which is really all about this time, right? We have to be deeply transformative and allowing growth to happen, but also just to kind of opening the door a crack and just letting some new experiences come through for you. I think the new experiences can be so valuable and reminding you who you are, perhaps tapping into a part of yourself. You know how everybody that we have a relationship with brings out a slightly different side of us. And there may be a part of you that you just haven't met somebody yet that's been able to kind of tap into that and help you to explore and express it. And August wants to do that for you. So I want you to be really open to the way in which people are coming in and sort of putting you out your comfort zone a little bit and challenging you and questioning you and being curious around you, because it's almost like that specific role that they have is to help you reveal something about yourself that perhaps you didn't even know was there, or you did and you've been suppressing it for so long that you just kind of almost given up, feeling that that could be a part of you that you could bring to the table in this lifetime. Well, it absolutely is. So as the sun shifts into Virgo on the 23rd, Mercury goes retrograde the same day. We also have Uranus going retrograde on the 28th. Remember, you know, these planets, when they shift backwards, can also bring back some real beauty treasures for us, you know, things we've invested in. It can feel a bit like harvest time, an opportunity to not exert much effort and yet have things effortlessly come back around because we've already done the work. So the momentum is delivering it back to us. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth is kind of what I want to say. I think there are some things that are showing up for you to help try and alleviate and make your circumstances feel a little bit lighter and a little bit easier through the course of this month, because I do sense there is some complexity and messiness that you're trying to navigate and deal with, perhaps with everything on your shoulders right now. So we have our last three cards, which we do reveal in the extended version of my reading. Talk for another 25-30 minutes or so. You'll find the link below. We also cover off a personal question and a relationship card. I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards, which is also going to give us an indication of the direction we might be taking it. Sometimes the reading will change and transform through that extended. All the cards I use are also listed below. Knight of Wands, 10 of Swords coming through here. We have the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. What about this 5 of Swords? 10 of Pentacles. Could be something family connected going on there. You do have, as we approach the full moon in Pisces on the 30th, remember that 4th house energy very close to home for you. It's almost like anything that you're asked or directed or guided to let go of at the beginning of August. You know, universe is calling you up. If you haven't done it, if you haven't done the work, by the time we get to the end of the month, it's like there's no going beyond this threshold until you do. And remember, like the full moon Pisces is going to go deeper and it's going to go in on a more emotive experience. You know, the full moon Aquarius is going to give us the intellectual knowing, you know, the intuitive understanding of how we can sort of release some of the mental chatter. Notice you've got another Hanged Man coming in there. Just crossing the chariot. That's what I said. It's like there will be a right time, but it's not necessarily going to be on your timeline. So you'll have to kind of be a little bit open-minded to that. Full 6 of Cups. So yeah, I'm feeling into that sort of end of the month, some surprises revealing themselves, especially with that Uranus retrograde coming through. Full moons, of course, are you know, a time for profound reveals. So we're going to experience that all the way through August, you know, as we sort of move from 1 2-week cycle into the next with both of these moons. And, you know, there is an opportunity to go much deeper on a subconscious level to support your healing as well. So anything like kind of EFT, hypnotherapy, NLP, you know, any of these modalities that are working with those hidden thoughts that are really kind of training and influencing how you're showing up will be very effective and powerful this month for you. So this is Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my own personal deck. So if you're new to my channel, you can see it over on my website. Again, it's listed below. You'll also find my book. So if you enjoy my work, these sacred titles are here to support you. You have crown energy, activations of wisdom coming through. I really love that, especially in the 9th house energy as you're seeking a higher understanding this month. And like I said to you, you're never going to feel more aware of who you are and the patterns and the stories and how you're changing and how far you've come than this month. Soul star energy and solar plexus, you've got all the chakras showing up. So maybe some work needs to be done to keep balancing, clearing, cleansing and activating those energy centers for you through this month. Energy conversations, honesty at the edge of quiet. Mirrors of the mind. You'll find a super comprehensive guidebook with my oracle deck. You know, we do a description, we do a meaning, we do in the light and in the shadow, we do affirmations, and it's just, you know, a real deep dive to kind of help you connect in to these cards. Okay, let's pull an oracle here for you. Beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives, breaking free. I think that is in perfect harmony with these Hanged Man energies and really what we see here as you take a break in this sacred pause. If you're going to join me for the extended, I hope you do. You'll find the link below. Also, just a reminder, this month I've created a Lionsgate soul meditation. There's also a brand new full moon energy activation available over on the website. All the links are below. Have a really beautiful month of August. I look forward to connecting with you again next time. I appreciate you for tuning in.